A technological wonder of an age long lost, the Battlestation Phalanx serves the Imperial fists as both homeworld and warship. To walk its halls is to walk in step with the greatest heroes of the chapter. For Phalanx, more than any other construct of flesh or machinery, is the Imperial fist's heart and soul, a relic bequeathed by a vanished Primarch to his embattled sons. Phalanx's origins lie shrouded in the dark age of technology, its builders and purpose lost to the great yawning void that swallowed so much of mankind's turbulent history. But it endured where the records of that time did not, battered and broken in the skies above the ice world Inwit, dormant and awaiting a master who could bind it to dutiful service once more. Phalanx found that master in Rogel Dawn, under whose exacting gaze the mighty battle station was restored to function. It was the labor of many arduous years, for many of Phalanx's systems baffled even the most adept of Inwit's tech savants. Nonetheless, by the time the Emperor arrived on Inwit in search of his lost son, Phalanx's firepower dwarfed that of entire fleets, and its armored hide was thought proof against even the fury of a dying star. Thus did Rogel Dawn first greet his father, from the bridge of a war vessel whose girth rivaled that of a small moon, its foredeck crowded by battlecruisers, while fighter craft untold billowed from its hangar bays. Yet Phalanx was not Dawn's challenge to the Emperor, but his gift. The battle station was a generous pledge of fealty, for even in that golden age it was unique in its power and fortitude. When the Emperor bade Phalanx remain ever in Dawn's keeping, as haven and monastery of war to the battle brothers of the Seventh Legion, it became the enduring symbol of an unbreakable bond between father and son. In the days of crusade and heresy, Phalanx's shadow fell across 1,000 worlds, the fury of the Imperial fists following close behind. So formidable was the vessel that in the opening salvos of the Horus heresy, the traitor Primarchs were said to account for the location of Phalanx before planning any assault, lest its judgment be visited upon their schemes at a most unwelcome hour. Had Phalanx taken a wider role in the heresy, many battles might have unfolded differently, but Dawn sequestered the battle station over Terra to safeguard the Imperial palace. It is testament to Phalanx's unyielding strength that it survived the heresy's final days, its vigilance never failing even in the darkest of times. In the millennia since the Horus heresy, Phalanx has continued to serve as the Imperial Fist's fortress monastery, acting as a crucial base for their fleet-borne operations. Though Terra is officially recorded as the chapter's homeworld, to the Imperial Fists, this is true only whilst Phalanx lies in orbit above that most blessed of planets. Whether recruits are tithed from Terra, the Jovian moons, Inwit, Pharos, Necromunda, or any of a score of other worlds, it is to Phalanx that they are brought, no matter where in the galaxy the space station is to be found, there to undertake the next phase of selection and training in the halls martialis. So vast is Phalanx that entire decks are given over to training fields designed to test aspirants to their very limits, each specially developed to represent every kind of combat environment the Imperial Fists can expect to encounter. These rigorous training cycles assess thousands of inductees, though just handfuls will prove themselves worthy of Rogel Dawn's gene seed and legacy. Of those that remain, perhaps half survive to earn the lesser honor of induction into Phalanx's Auric Auxilia, a standing body of troops tasked with the station's defense, or else serve as feudal overseers and proctors on the tithe worlds. Even the dead serve in their way, their matter compressed to super-dense specks around which the ordnance for Phalanx's punishing macro-cannons is crafted. Phalanx is a world unto itself, crewed by millions of souls and accompanied by a fleet of a size and splendor, otherwise unseen since the time of the Great Crusade. Within its battle-scarred shell lie dusty passageways untrodden for many generations, and halls that yet echo with the stentorian decrees of warriors long dead. Even those reaches well-travelled by shuttlecraft, gravtrain, or unflagging stride seem full of old ghosts and ever-watchful eyes. It is as if Dawn himself is still present, judging the deeds of those who follow in his footsteps. The battle station is a stronghold, such as only the Sons of Dawn could design, thick with emplacements, bastions, and entire fortresses of unsleeping watch. Slinking aboard unheeded is possible only through great trickery, and afterwards an intruder will find death in every hallway. Even accredited emissaries to Phalanx are accompanied at all times, a restriction especially trying for Adeptus Mechanicus delegates, who yearn to delve into the vessel's secrets. But infraction means death, swiftly delivered. Yet above all, Phalanx is a temple to duty, its lumens ever suppressed to somber tones. Every wall is adorned with reminders of battles won and lost, telling of glorious heroics and iniquities beyond forgiveness. No workmanlike clinical hulk is Phalanx. It is a work of immense and brutal art. Ornate murals and bas-reliefs decorate its passageways, commemorating victories on Terra, Ascanisa, the Consus Drift, Maladrax, and 1,000 others. Kilometers-long halls with floors of polished marble are filled with trophies innumerable, the last remnants of races and empires utterly lost to memory after they were conquered by the Imperial fists. Meanwhile, towering likenesses of fallen battle brothers gaze sternly across hangar bays and moorings, the heroes of old vigilance still in the Emperor's service. Deep in Phalanx's venerable heart, sealed from all but the most trusted outsiders, are the shrines of the Imperial fists. The Temple of Oaths was once the spiritual heart of the Seventh Legion, dedicated to the ideals of the Great Crusade. It now stands sealed and forbidden, for those who were once permitted to walk its halls without leave from Dawn have been dead for millennia. The nearby Cloister of Remembrance is the chapter's closest equivalent. Where the Temple of Oaths is said to be hung with captured trophies and battle honors, the cloister is unfurnished and austere. It is here that the captains of the present renew oaths taken beneath the statues of heroes. Surrounding these two great shrines is a ring of armories, meditation chambers, and arenas, each named for an ancient battle honor. Ritualized dueling is a common and encouraged practice within the Imperial fists, for it not only allows disagreements to be settled before they have a chance to fester, but also keeps mind and body sharp. Perhaps the greatest shrine of all is Phalanx's Strategium, from which commands are issued not only to the battle station itself, but also to the accompanying fleet. Phalanx is deployed according to the will of the chapter master, but fights under the direction of the Commodore, a company captain elevated to such exalted office only after accruing a spotless battle record spanning many decades. Supported by officers, navigators, tech magi, and the myriad panoply of void-born war, the Commodore acts without fear or doubt, marshalling the Phalanx's formidable wrath with the precision of a true veteran. It is in the Strategium also that the chapter's officers renew their oaths before Dawn's stasis-locked skeletal hand. Though wishful rumors abound that Dawn continues the noble fight to this day, this hand is the only known remnant of the Primarch since his disappearance aboard the despoiler-class Chaos battleship, Sword of Sacrilege. It is rightly said, with grim humor uncommon among his otherwise stoic sons, that Dawn yet has a hand in every world liberated and every heretic slain. Yet for all Phalanx's glory, it is suffused with a somber, ineluctable truth. Millennia of constant warfare have taken a high toll. Despite unceasing effort, more of the mighty vessel's systems fail each year, and the skill required to repair them has long passed out of living memory. By the close of the 41st millennium, Phalanx functioned at a bare tenth of its former glory. It but seldom bestrode the stars as a colossus of war, and its venerable engines were coaxed to life only in the most dire need. Once home to a legion over 100,000 strong, with millions of serfs, menials, and attendants, many of its vast halls and barracks are now abandoned, not needed by the much smaller chapter that carries the legion's name. Worse yet, during a fateful battle above doomed Cardia during Abaddon the Despoiler's 13th Black Crusade, Phalanx bore the wrathful brunt of not only the arch-traitor's Black Fleet, but also an entire Blackstone fortress. Phalanx emerged victorious, but thereafter lingered long in Terran orbit, where its wounds were tended on the orders of Robut Gilliman himself. The Primarch Reborn determined that his brother's legendary vessel would once again ply the stars in the Emperor's name, cleansing the galaxy of foes. Once the repairs were completed, Phalanx operated at a level not seen in countless years. Normally dispassionate Imperial fists gazed in wonder at chambers that had been forgotten, as cannons that had long been dormant hummed into life. Some openly speculated about the possibility of an ulterior motive behind the Adeptus Custodes' aid. Captain Lysander insisted that security vetting protocols be redoubled throughout the ship's crews and systems, lest spying eyes had been left amongst them. Regardless, the battle station is born anew, outshining any Imperial vessel, and now traverses the stars ready to strike down the enemies of the Imperium once more.